Welcome to God with George Ortega. This is episode number 113. I'm recording it on Monday, March 30th, 2021 at 8:57 p.m. Eastern Time. And so yeah, like again, our new format is, actually I was talking to God last night and we decided, the two of us, that that maybe, maybe it'd be better for me to when doing this show, talk to God, perhaps most of the time, a lot of the time, but also talk to you in the audience. So I'm going to try that. I mean, it's like a group conversation. Okay, the three of us, whatever. So all right, so like I want to, but I want to, I want to talk to God. You guys can listen in. And then, then I'm sure I'll have, things that I want to like say to you directly. But anyway, so God, all right. Let's see. Yeah, with the music, I mean, it's going really well. And I guess, I was going to ask you to like to make things a certain way, for example, like to have me just, practice just the bass instead of like, I've been thinking, God, you've been having me get ideas of re-recording my these songs that I wrote, about 30 years ago or so. And then start playing lead guitar. I brought my guitar out, and see, I don't know if that's the right thing to do. So like I was going to ask, and I guess, what I should be asking you, God, is like, not that you make things one way or another, depending on how I think they should be, but rather to have me feel comfortable with where I am with it. Right now, I don't know whether whether it's a good idea to re-record those songs, to start, because basically I'd have to like lay down a new rhythm guitar track, probably drum tracks to the songs, then a bass track and a vocal, maybe a couple of vocals. As long as I'm doing it, I could do it on a computer and, just have as many tracks as I want. But yeah, it's too early to tell whether that's what I really want to do or whether it's the right time. So yeah, God, I guess what I'm asking you is to have me be all right with the way things are going. I really am making a lot of progress. My fingers hurt because I've been playing a lot, each day, which is, it's great. I mean, and thank you, God, for having me play to the Beatles, because I just like, I mean, I've always really liked the Beatles. Their music, music can be a bit decadent in certain ways, but sometimes not so much decadent, but actually rebellious, and sometimes in a positive way. And the Beatles' music can sometimes be like that. So, but all right, God, I just want to talk to the audience for a minute. I just want to like, guys, I want to, these Beatles, and I don't know why God is having me do this, but God apparently wants me to talk about the Beatles songs that God is having me practice. So I'm just going to read them because basically when I say the Beatles, yeah, in 63, 64 with all that stuff, that was amazing. It's a phenomenon. But I believe their best music would come later. Starting I think with the album Revolver, and then Sgt. Pepper, Magical Mystery Tour, Abbey Road. So here are the songs that they're mainly from the later Beatles period. I don't really play much from the early Beatles. The Do You Want to, I Want to Hold Your Hand stuff. So anyway, so like Something, Come Together, Here Comes the Sun, Hey Jude, Oh Darling, Golden Slumbers, Norwegian Wood, In My Life, Eleanor Rigby, Love You Too. I don't know what that is actually. Tomorrow Never Knows, another one. There, some of these I don't understand. I'm not familiar with the titles. Getting Better, Within You, Without You. That's kind of like an Indian, sitar piece. The Fool on the Hill, Strawberry Hills Forever, Flying, and Your Prudence, Glass Onion, I'm So Tired, Your Blues, Revolution Number One, I Want You, You Never Give Me Your Money, Sun King, Carry That Weight, Let It Be, I've Got a Feeling, and Get Back. And these are amazing music. I'm like, I just wrote in my, all right, so guys, I'm going to start talking to God again, because like, I think it's more productive that I talk to God than I just like relate to you what I'm practicing to, what kind of music. And I'm also, actually, no. So like God, yes, I'm going to ask you directly, God. So, and maybe you can help me understand this, because like, you've got me practicing the Beatles playlist because it's such amazing music. Such amazing music. I posted a video on my Facebook page of well, God, I guess I'm talking to you still. When I talk to you, it's like I'm kind of, wait a minute, you know this, but yeah, but I'm talking to you anyhow. So what can I tell you? But anyway, I posted a video of of the song "Hey Jude" that they did. And this was like back, what, they must have done this in 65, 66, somewhere around there. And like the quality of that video, that music video is awesome. They're amazing, productive, the production value is really, really good. But all right, so like the reason I'm mentioning that, God, is like, so you got me on the one hand, I enjoy playing to love songs, because love songs are so positive. And actually, God, thank you for, yeah, it's funny because like when I tell you this, I guess like it takes the form of thanking you for something good rather than just, if I was telling the audience, it'd be, I would just be relating it. Whereas if I'm telling you, it's not, I'm thanking you for it, which I think is an important, consideration to keep in mind. But so yeah, with the love songs, I appreciate your having me distinguish, first select love songs as the genre, the kind of songs that I prefer to, because like, I'm very sensitive, when I'm playing to a song, and this is why I can't play a lot of songs that I really like that are rock songs, is like, I'm listening to the lyrics, what they say, sometimes the lyrics are very positive, or, well, if they're positive, great, but sometimes they're not very positive. And with love songs, I really appreciate, God, how you, again, not just had me select love songs as the genre that I want to work with, but also now you're having me, because in my playlist for love songs, there's got to be over 100 songs, and I just like, I created a new playlist called Top Love Songs that, basically, because a lot of love songs aren't really love songs, in my opinion. For example, if a song is about like, I really loved her, but she broke my heart or something like that. I don't want to play stuff like that. I mean, like sometimes the music is so good that I will, but I'd rather, there's some love songs that are like, hey, I feel so great, I'm in love, you love me, I love you, whatever. That's the kind of love song that I want to, that's the kind of music I want to play. But again, God, like, so you got me going back and forth. I guess you have me, playing Beatles because it's so good musically. And I mean, the lyrics are good too, actually, but they're not really love songs, or a lot of them aren't. But the love songs, yeah, to cultivate that mindset. Anyway, so I guess that's another thing that I kind of like am seeking clarity on this, and why, and I guess, God, I'm getting comfortable with it. I'm getting, so So, and I'll even like sometimes play Pink Floyd, although sometimes I feel that I've outgrown Pink Floyd, or at least the way Pink Floyd plays it, because there's a bit too much anger and too much like, melancholy and that stuff. It's amazing music, on same level as the Beatles, or well, almost, I think. Yeah, I think the Beatles, just the stuff they did is so amazing. So anyway, so God, thank you for that. I'm gonna only do an episode. It's late. I just hosted a meetup. What will the next 4 years look like? I hosted every Tuesday. Is this Monday or Tuesday? This is Tuesday. Sorry. Yeah, this is Tuesday, March 30th. I don't know if I said it's Monday, but so this is Wednesday's episode. Okay. But all right, what else? Yeah, God, still a lot's going on. A lot of good stuff, but I just like, for example, with the getting the financing for the film, I've got to talk to somebody, about it tomorrow. And the honest truth is, and I'm glad you're helping me figure this out, because like on the one hand, yeah, I'd like to get the financing sooner than later and have the film start. On the other hand, I'm not sure it's the right time to begin this film, meaning that shouldn't take, well, I guess I'd like the film to premiere maybe a couple years from now. So yeah, I guess maybe, yeah, it's got to get done. So, all right, so like, I'm still figuring this out, because I was thinking for a while that, it might be best to delay, the financing, because once I get the financing, whoever's producing it is going to want, I imagine, just begin work on it, and so yeah, so now I'm thinking it might be better, if we start sooner, releasing it in 2-3 years. Yeah, that should be good enough. But I'm glad you're having me go through this process of trying to figure that out. But God, what I would really, what I need your help with on regarding this is to to come up with some kind of a strategy for making phone calls to people that I believe may know somebody who wants to finance this. And as I'm saying this to you guys, I'm just thinking that I've got a lot of personal preparation to do for this. For example, God, I don't want to be asking, people for money, like give me this money, for my benefit. That's not how I see this project. I see this project as fundamentally helping the world. I mean, in a certain sense, I do want to make some money on it to advance my life, but it's the film. When I'm seeking the financing for the film, I want to have the attitude, the mindset that whoever I'm calling, whoever I'm talking to, it's like, listen, I'm doing you a favor. If you have, let's say you're an investment counselor, so you have a lot of rich clients worth $200-400 million, and so like I'm talking to these people, and like, again, I want to present it as I believe it, as I believe it is, that that I think I'm pretty confident that God will have me stay with this project until it's financed, until it's done, until I get the financing. And because I waver back and forth. Sometimes I think it's just like definitely going to happen. Other times, but yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of personal preparation that I need to go through before I start making these phone calls. And so I need your help with that, God. And this is another thing, like, because like on the one hand, I don't really feel like doing that work right now. And so God, maybe I should be guided by that feeling. Maybe, I've been thinking recently, you've been having me play so much guitar that I've been thinking, over these last decades, I should have been a guitarist, bass guitarist, rhythm guitarist, whatever, musician. And I don't know why, well, I do, I guess, know why you had me do other things, hopefully they're useful, but it could be, it could be that, that you want me to succeed as a studio musician, a bass guitarist, first, and then make the film, 3-4 years instead of 2 to 3 or something like that. I don't know. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, just like with not knowing whether to play the Beatles or the or love songs, or not knowing whether to start working on my songs, re-record them, like with this film stuff. It's just stuff is so up in the air. And I guess what I'm asking you is to help me be comfortable with that, because I could ask you for answers to this, but I know from the past you're not all that prone to give me these answers. Excuse me. So anyway, so what else? So we're in Passover, and I don't know what the law is. I think, the first 2 days are over now. So like I'd kind of like treated them as Sabbaths. I try not to work. Except, God, thank you so much for not just allowing me, but encouraging me to play bass guitar on the Sabbath. I don't consider, I don't think if I were to paint, that I gotta, like, God, like sometimes with these rabbis, I just don't know how much I should trust their judgment. And then, a perfect example of this guy is, like, you had some rabbis a long time ago say, well, our congregations, they don't really speak Hebrew, they don't really understand Hebrew, but we're gonna we're gonna get them to read the sounds of Hebrew, and then we're gonna read those sounds, and that'll, that's like prayer. In my mind, that's bizarre. I have, like, I'm very proud to be Jewish, extremely proud, but it's surreal that our religion, the Orthodox are different. The Orthodox are, they're crazy in their own ways. They believe, for example, that the earth is the center of the entire universe, stuff like that. But at least, when they're reading in Hebrew, they understand what the words are. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is, like, that with this thing about, like, what's allowable on the Sabbath and what isn't, I think I have to a great extent, come up with my personal understanding of what that word work, what God's intention is. And I may, this that I, and God, I guess I'm talking to you, I guess I'm talking to the audience, I don't know who I'm talking to, but no, I'm talking to you, God. So, like, it may be mistaken for me to believe that you really are condoning my playing bass guitar on the Sabbath. It may be that you just want me to meditate, because I was thinking about that this last Sabbath. My intention was, well, I'm going to meditate the entire day, and I was really looking forward to it, because, like, as you know, God, like, I start meditating, especially on the Sabbath, and these ideas come into my mind. You just put these, they're like temptations, like, and like, thank you, thank you for having me get better at recognizing that there are temptations and at resisting them. You know, as I mentioned to you recently, you know, when I get an idea, I'm saying to myself, well, if it's such a great idea, it'll come back again. It's not something that I have to just jump up and do, whatever, if it's something to write or whatever. But all right, so anyway, I'd appreciate your help with that. What else? So yeah, well, you know, thank you for having me meditating a lot more, because I have been meditating a lot recently and I've been enjoying it. And I just like, you know, I've got a futon, and so I have it tilted back, you know, so it's a very comfortable meditation position. You know, the back of the futon, you know, I actually extended it so it's got a support for my head also. I can keep it, you know, my upper body erect as it's supposed to be in meditation, you know, straight line up the spine, but inclined so that it doesn't hurt. I mean, you know, anybody who's meditated knows that, like, people who get into that position for hours, you know, their backs really hurt a lot. So I'm trying to prevent that. All right, God. So let's see, what else? So yes, so thanks again for Noah Weinberg. You know, I'm more than halfway through the 48 Ways to Wisdom. Thanks for this book that I started reading on the history of White Plains in the 20th century. Fortunately, it's a short book. I'm almost done with it. Appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of, you know, things are going well. But yeah, I feel kind of like, you know, a bit scattered. I guess I feel that, you know, the first part of this series, when I was presenting your attributes to the audience, it felt like, you know, it was pretty structured. I mean, like, it's not like, well, it did have a certain kind of like a focus to it. Whereas like now, talking with you, rather than presenting more of that same information to the audience, it really is different. And it's, and so, you know, again, thank you for allowing me to feel comfortable with it, feel comfortable with not really knowing what to talk about a lot, not knowing how to talk about it, you know, messing up and started to talk to the audience, you know, I just feel, you know, more comfortable with that stuff. And I think that's important. I think it's you know, I kind of like feel, God, you know, like, this is interesting, you know, like about 3-4 years ago, you remember you had me do a series, it was a short series, you know, based on the ones I do, like this was only 20-21 episodes. It was called The Ortega Path to Enlightenment. And because I believe I have become somewhat enlightened. I believe, you know, enlightenment is something that happens in degrees. I don't think, you know, it could perhaps, but I think generally, you know, we don't go from like being unenlightened to all of a sudden, you know, just seeing the light and being completely transformed. I think this happens in degrees and stages. And so, so yeah, several years ago, I just kind of like, whoa, you know, I feel kind of like pretty enlightened between the happiness and understanding the true nature of reality in terms of our human will, and my appreciation of virtue, of the understanding the virtue needs to be practiced and better perfected. But recently, God, you know, I've been, you know, meditating a lot, and it feels like, you know, I'm making, I'm becoming, actually it doesn't feel like enlightenment so much, God, but it feels like for some reason, I'm getting back to a me that I was many years ago. A healthier me, I think, a me that is more confident, more in touch with things. So I appreciate that. You know, you know, and I have to, I guess, I have to believe that part of it, at least, is coming from this series, from our talking like this. So that's a good thing. All right, so what else? So like tomorrow, so it's got 3 minutes left. Tomorrow I've got a few things going on. Let me check out my calendar. So yeah, I don't want to tape another episode because it's already 9:22. But I will tape Thursdays and Fridays tomorrow. I think I can do that. So yeah, all right. So no, I don't have, all right, no, tomorrow night I've got a Torah class, so Bible class. So I better get these episodes done in the afternoon, like around 3 o'clock. So I will do that, God. I will plan to do that because, I never know, like, I don't know if I'm going to get to sleep tonight. I think I am. What else? What else? About 2 minutes left. Yeah, I appreciate, there's things that I need to do, that I want to do, but for whatever reason, I'm just like developing this cadence, this kind of like a rhythm of like, not rushing myself, just like getting stuff done. But like sometimes, I'll feel like getting stuff done and I'll work on it. Other times I won't, and I'm not having problems with that. I'm saying to myself, but there are some times where it's right to do this outer work of, let's say, practicing my guitar, or doing chores, things that need to be done. And then there are other times when the work is more, inner work, the work of the spirit, just part of this, I guess, but mainly the meditation, just like, inviting, basically listening to you instead of talking with you as I am in this series. All right, I got to talk to the audience again. So thanks for watching. We've got about less than a minute. Again, you can watch me talk to God, because that's what I guess I'm going to be doing. That's what God has me doing. Every Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. on White Plains Community Media Channel 76. If you get Optimum 45, you get Verizon. And the episodes are also on YouTube and Facebook, although I'm a little behind. I don't think I uploaded yesterday's or today's to YouTube yet. But I don't feel like doing that tonight. I'm just like, I'm going to send this off to the studio. And so God, do me a favor. I'd like to get that stuff done tomorrow. So remind me, because I was on the computer earlier today, but I forgot. So anyway, everyone, thanks for watching. God willing, I will see you again soon.